Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a first impressions and demo of the new Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Cushion Corrector Plus Primer Duo. So there are two different varieties, I believe. I got the yellow and green one, but there also is a peach and lavender one. I wish there was a green and peach one because those are the two colors that I use most often when I do color correct. But if I do enjoy this one, I will probably go and pick up the peach and lavender one as well. But let's see, the claims, let's see. It's a first ever cushion corrector and primer duo. It says it has a weightless mineral formula that delivers the skin transforming benefits of color correction and the skin perfecting effect of priming in one revolutionary cushion. Essential first step to create a flawless complexion, instantly color corrects skin tone, blurs fine lines and pores, and conceals visible imperfections. Uniquely buildable formula allows for spot correction or for all over perfecting. So that is what the packaging looks like. Let's go ahead and get this thing open. So I did already put a small amount of a pore filling primer in my T-zone because I would have anyway. I do have some larger pores in this area and one little smile line or or a little wrinkle that is starting to form already. So I did use the Makeup Forever Step 1, just the smoothing version. But this is what the actual packaging looks like. It is a hard-topped cushion, and that is what the back of the packaging looks like. I am intrigued to see how this separates. I'm not sure if you can see, but you can actually tell like this is the green product, and then up top there's the yellow product as well. But let's see here about opening it. Okay, so it comes with an applicator, actually green and yellow. Very similar to the Paddle sort of bronzer applicator in their butter bronzer. Is that what I said? Butter? Yep. Their applicator for their butter bronzer. Alright, so this is closed and lid tightly to prevent product from drying out. And that is what the inside looks like. So let's open it up. Got a nice little tab to pull. Okay, so that is what the product looks like on the inside. I don't think I'm going to be using that. I think I'm actually going to be using, let's try a brush. Let's try this little guy. Okay, so I'm going to do, actually let's put my hair up. Okay, straighten it so it's all over the place today. Good enough. Okay, so I'm going to go into the green first. Okay, so one press that actually gives a decent amount of product, and my brush actually fits quite nicely without getting too much of the yellow product on. So I have redness like down the sides of my cheeks, and then some redness from healing spots as well. So that's what I'm going to use the green for. Oh boy. Okay, let's get out my mirror here. That's a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I guess this brush doesn't really allow for precision application. Oh my. Okay, this actually is a nice amount of coverage, surprisingly. I probably should get a smaller applicator. Or maybe a beauty blender or something to blend it out. Ugh, and I hate having to go back in. But, well. Whew. Again, just like one little dip, and that really helps cover it. Well, I guess I should. I have a little bit of a cold, so my nose is also a little bit red, but maybe we'll wait to do the nose at the end so I don't get all that stuff in the compact. Okay. And then just some redness on my face. Alright, and it says that the yellow can be used for color correcting under the eyes. Again, I don't usually prefer a yellow. Oh my gosh, one little dab. I usually prefer a peach under my eye, but if it says it'll brighten, it says it'll brighten, so let's give it a go. The only product I have under my eyes is just a moisturizer, a night balm. The Clinique All About Eyes. Okay. Whew. Tell you what, these press-on nails are not blending's friend. So I went to New York City and thought to myself, well, if I get fake nails, well, first I was like, the gel manicure, that'll last the whole time. And then I didn't have time. So I thought, oh, fake nails will work. And a friend of mine uses them and swears by them. And they always look super cute and very realistic. And this is supposed to be reminiscent of a gel manicure. But they were much longer than I anticipated. I don't really like super long nails. Anyway, okay, so making blending a little bit difficult. But I think that we have everything a little bit quite well blended, actually. I'm going to go back in with the green and just do a little bit on my nose. I'm actually going to blend that with my finger because that brush was not my best option, or not my best decision in picking a product for this. Okay. I think it covers up really nicely. It's not so much a real pastel. I mean, it is a pastel green, but it's more of like a mint or seafoam pastel green, if that makes sense. Okay, so I am going to apply the rest of my foundation. I'm actually going to do a little bit more spot concealing now that we've decided fingers work the best. Okay. Tell you what, that does really even out my skin tone quite nicely. It doesn't actually conceal the spots, but it did dull down that redness, which is my main concern. I don't think I put any on my forehead. I am going to put a little bit more of the green on my forehead since I didn't apply any product up there. We'll just do a light layer all over. Okay, I do have redness all over the place. Okay, so we've put green, a little bit of green on my forehead, a little bit of green down the sides of my cheeks where I do have redness, green on the little spots, and then on my nose as well, and then yellow under the eyes. So I'm going to actually apply the rest of my makeup. I am going to be using my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. I'm still trying to determine if this really is my shade. I actually went back to Sephora and picked up a couple little samples of some lighter shades, one of which from the more neutral to yellow side, because this really does look a little bit too red. Even when I was in the store, the woman was like, that looks way too red for you. That's what the Color IQ told me to pick, and let you test it out on my face. Anyway, so I'm going to be using this guy with a brush because I feel that's how this foundation applies its best, but then I will come back on camera and update you guys on how it went, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so we are back and my face is on, and I can give you a little bit more information about how makeup applied on top of it, and my sort of final thoughts and my first impressions. So I will say I don't enjoy this as a primer, though to be fair, I did, like I said, I did previously apply a pore filling primer, and on one of the claims that this said was that it helped with pores. What did it say? Yeah, so it says it's supposed to instantly color correct skin tone, blurs fine lines and pores, and conceals visible imperfections. I actually think it enhanced one of my fine lines on my forehead. Foundation sort of sunk into it when I know for a fact that that foundation does not do that to me when I apply it with other primers and other sort of products underneath. I also think, I'm not positive if you can see it on camera, but I think the yellow sort of shone through under my concealer. And I used a pretty heavy-duty concealer, the Tarte Shape Tape, and I blended it out with my fingers, so it wasn't sheared out with a sponge or anything. But it only seems to be sort of like in more of the inner corners that it shows a little bit more yellow, but it's not something that's super ultra noticeable. I think it's something that I picked up on while I was sort of doing my face pretty up close with a mirror. Let's see, the green though, I will say, I didn't apply blush because I wanted to sort of give you guys the look of my skin without adding further color onto it. But the green actually covered up the redness quite nicely. I mean, not all together, it is a pretty pale or thin consistency for a color corrector, but the sides of my cheeks, where that redness was that we used the green, I actually think covered up really nicely. I also didn't use any concealer on my spots. I just did the foundation, and I think that the color correcting definitely helped with the redness on some of the more more recent healing spots. I will say the color correcting product cushion did sort of gather in the inner corners of my nose. And I did have to sort of blend that out, and it still hasn't really gone away completely. Let's see, what else? I think that's about it. So we covered the green and the yellow. I don't think that this product is thick enough. This product, I was pointing over there, it's not there. I don't think this product is thick enough to use as a pore filling primer, and I don't think I would use this on my forehead again. I don't think that I really did cover up any, I didn't have any severe redness, but I wanted to try it on my forehead since it was a primer product as well. But I really just don't think that I enjoy that as an actual primer. As a color corrector, I enjoy the green side quite a lot, actually. And I might be going to pick up the peach and lavender one as well. Though I will say I had to actually use a little bit more eye balm on top of my concealer because when I applied the concealer on top of the yellow color corrector, it sort of started sinking into fine lines and getting sort of dry and crepey, which is weird because, again, I use this all the time and I use it with my under eye eye cream all the time, and that's never a problem that I've ever encountered ever. My skin could just be extra dry, I guess, but that eye balm usually does the trick for me. So I don't know if this is really the consistency for under eyes. I'm still intrigued about the peach one though, because peach usually works really well under eyes for me. But those are sort of my first impressions on the Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Cushion Corrector and Primer Duo. I enjoy the green side as a color corrector for my redness. The yellow side I could do without. But I would be careful about using this product as strictly a primer without any sort of pore filling or anything like that, because it did sink into my one fine line even while using a pore filling or line filling primer. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.